All ships deploy boarding teams, Hyunwoo commanded. Unlike the aliens who relied on technology and distance in warfare, humans sent soldiers directly onto the enemy vessels. Within hours, 15 Meridian warships had been captured with minimal casualties on either side. On the Confederation capital, the emergency session continued as news of Earth's military success spread. The Archean representative, his scaled skin pale with shock, raised his voice. "This proves our point. Humans are dangerously unpredictable." Mina smiled for the first time. "No, it proves we are dangerously underestimated. Earth offers peace to all who respect our sovereignty. The choice is yours." The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Confederation had changed. Where once 50 alien species had dominated discussions, now humans sat prominently at the central table. 2 years had passed since the day Earth forces had struck back against the Purity Council. The chamber fell silent as Dr. Sujin Kang, Earth's new official representative, rose to speak. "Today we finalize the Treaty of New Beginnings," she announced, her voice clear and strong. "This marks a turning point in our shared history." From his seat among the Earth delegation, Commander Hyunwoo Park watched with quiet pride. The military. Victory had been swift, but the diplomatic work that followed had been far more complex. Earth had shown restraint in victory, offering peace terms that were firm but fair. The restructuring of the Confederation will ensure no single group can again conspire against member worlds, Sujin continued. Power will be balanced through the new Council of Equals. In the visitors' gallery, Agent Yoonji Han sat beside Captain Minji Choi. Both women had played crucial roles in Earth's response to the assassination. "Did you ever imagine this outcome when you were hiding in the shadows of the Silvery Palace?" Minji whispered. Yoonji smiled slightly. "I hoped, but no, I never expected humans to rise so quickly." The 5 species of the former Purity Council had faced different fates. The Dolban Empire, whose assassin had fired the fatal shot at President Kim, had surrendered quickly. Their leaders now awaited trial for war crimes. The Silvari had claimed ignorance of their leaders' actions and sought peace almost immediately. The Archeans and Vex had fought longer, but eventually accepted Earth's terms when their military capabilities proved no match for human adaptability. Only the Meridian Union had continued fighting, their pride unable to accept defeat by primitive humans. Their resistance had ended 3 months ago when Earth forces captured their central power core, shutting down their entire defense network without firing a single shot. The treaty establishes new trade routes, technology-sharing protocols, and mutual defense agreements, Sujin explained to the assembly. But most importantly, it creates a framework where diversity is valued rather than feared. Admiral Minho Kang, seated beside Hyunwoo, nodded in approval. "She's good," he whispered. "Makes our victory sound like everyone's success." Hyunwoo had seen enough war to appreciate the value of peace. It is everyone's success if it lasts. The main floor, Sujin gestured toward a holographic display showing the new Confederation headquarters being constructed on Earth. At its center stood a memorial to President Junho Kim, the first human to die for galactic peace. "We invite all species to establish permanent embassies at the new headquarters," Sujin said. "Earth welcomes the stars to our home." The vote that followed was merely a formality. The treaty passed with overwhelming support, even from former Purity Council worlds. Fear of humans had been replaced by respect, and in many cases, genuine admiration. After the session, Hyunwoo walked through the gardens outside the chamber. He found Mina Lee sitting quietly by a fountain, looking up at the alien sky. "Congratulations, Ambassador," he said, using her new title. Mina smiled. "I keep thinking about President Kim. Would he be proud of what we've accomplished? We defended Earth, secured our place among the stars, and reformed a flawed system," Hyunwoo replied. "Yes, I think he would be proud." A small group of alien children ran past playing a game with human children from the diplomatic families. One of the games appeared to be a mix of human tag and an Archean chasing ritual. "That's the future," Mina said, watching them. "Not just coexistence, but true integration." Later that evening, a private ceremony was held in the Earth Embassy. The room was filled with the people who had made Operation Long Memory a success: intelligence officers, ship captains, scientists, and diplomats. Acting President Suman Park, soon to face election for a full term, raised a glass. "To absent friends," she said, honoring those who had died during the conflict. Everyone drank silently. Then Professor Jinwoo Yoon spoke up. "The Purity Council feared us because we were different. They saw our emotions as dangerous, our adaptability as threatening. They weren't entirely wrong," Admiral Minho added. "We can be dangerous when threatened." "But they missed the most important truth about humans," Yoonji said. "We're at our best when combining emotion with reason, strength with mercy." As the gathering continued, Hyunwoo stepped outside onto the balcony. Above him spread the stars of a galaxy that now knew the true nature of humanity, not just as warriors who could fight when necessary, but as builders who preferred peace. His comm unit chimed with a message from Earth Command. "New exploration fleet ready for launch. Command offered to you." Hyunwoo smiled. The time for war had passed. Now came the greater adventure of exploration and discovery. He typed his response. "Accept command. Prepare for departure next month." Inside, the celebration continued as humans and their new alien allies planned for a future where difference was no longer feared but valued. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Underestimate humans at your peril, but befriend them and discover untold possibilities. On the memorial to President Junho Kim, newly installed in the center of the Confederation's Earth headquarters, a simple inscription summed up the human spirit that had changed the galaxy. "We came in peace. We defended with determination. We rebuild with hope." "And civilian populations?" Hyunwoo asked. "Carefully mapped and excluded from target lists," Ji-young confirmed. "We're not like them. We won't harm innocents." On the Confederation capital, Mina Lee continued her role as Earth's interim representative. Each day she attended council meetings, submitted formal requests for investigation into President Kim's death, and publicly called for patience from Earth's citizens. "Diplomatic channels remain our priority," she announced to the Confederation Assembly. Behind her calm demeanor, she noted which representatives seemed nervous, which ones watched Earth's delegates too carefully. After the session, the Meridian representative approached her. "Earth shows admirable restraint," he said, his crystalline form glinting in the light. "Many feared humans would respond emotionally to such a tragedy." Mina smiled politely. "We understand the value of careful consideration." When the Meridian moved away, Mina touched a hidden control on her bracelet, sending a one-word message to Earth Command. "Confirmed." That evening, a small stealth ship departed from Earth's moon. Inside, a special operations team led by Major Einryu Taejin Choi prepared for their mission, infiltrating the upcoming Purity Council meeting on Meridian Station. "Our objective is information gathering only," Taejin reminded his team as they checked their equipment. "We need proof of their conspiracy to present to the Confederation." In his private quarters on the EDF Vengeance, Commander Hyunwoo reviewed the latest intelligence reports. Operation Long Memory was nearly ready. Earth's fleet had grown from 12 ships to 57. New weapons had been tested and proven effective. Alliance negotiations with sympathetic alien species had progressed quietly. A message appeared on his secure terminal. "Package delivered, waiting for pickup." Agent Yoonji had succeeded in planting surveillance devices in the Purity Council's meeting location. Hyunwoo allowed himself a small smile. Soon they would have the evidence they needed. Soon they would be ready to strike. The Purity Council believed humans were grieving, disorganized, and diplomatically oriented. They could not see the silent preparation happening throughout the solar system, the forging of a response they never anticipated from a species they fatally underestimated. The massive view screen on the bridge of the EDF Vengeance showed Earth, peaceful and blue against the blackness of space. Commander Hyunwoo Park took a deep breath as he looked at his home planet one last time before the mission began. 1 year had passed since President Kim's assassination. 1 year of preparation, planning, and patience. All ships report ready. Commander, said Communications Officer Gina Yun. Yunwoo nodded. Send the signal. Throughout Earth's solar system, 57 warships activated their engines simultaneously. The largest military operation in human history had begun. On the Confederation capital, Mina Lee entered her final diplomatic meeting as Earth's representative. The alien delegates barely noticed her anymore, the quiet, respectful human who made polite requests for justice that were always delayed or denied. Today was different. She carried a small data device containing all the evidence Agent Yoonji Han had gathered about the Purity Council's conspiracy. As the session began, Mina requested emergency speaking privileges. Honored representatives, she said, her voice stronger than ever before. Earth has remained patient while seeking justice for President Kim's assassination. Today, that patience ends. The chamber grew silent as she activated the main display. This evidence proves that 5 member species formed a secret alliance called the Purity Council, with the goal of limiting human influence through assassination and planned military action against Earth. The recording played 5 alien leaders discussing their plans to contain humanity. The Archean representative's voice was clear. The humans must never be allowed to reach their potential. They are too unpredictable, too dangerous. Chaos erupted in the chamber as Mina continued. At this moment, Earth forces are conducting precision strikes against military targets controlled by Purity Council members. We act in self-defense against those who murdered our leader and plotted against our species. Far from Earth, Captain Minji Choi's battle group dropped out of faster-than-light travel near the Dolben homeworld's outer defense perimeter. 6 Earth ships against 24 Dolben defenders. Deploy countermeasures, Minji ordered. Small drones launched from the Earth vessels, emitting signals that mimicked Dolben military communications. The defense grid hesitated, its automated systems confused by the contradictory commands. Forward. Batteries, target their communication nodes only, Minji said. Minimal power. We want them blind, not destroyed. Precise energy beams struck key satellites and relay stations. Within minutes, the Dolben defense network fell into disarray as ships lost contact with Central Command. In the Vex system, Admiral Minho Kang led the main battle fleet against the heart of the Purity Council's military power. The Vex, with their advanced energy weapons, had expected to overwhelm human shields easily. Instead, they found their attacks absorbed by the new adaptive response system. Earth ships adjusted their defenses in real time, rendering Vex weapons increasingly ineffective. Launch. Phase 2, Minho ordered. From the cargo bays of Earth's ships, thousands of small robots deployed. Unlike traditional weapons, these were designed by Professor Jinwoo Yoon to infiltrate Vex computer systems and shut down weapons without causing permanent damage. On the Silvari homeworld, Agent Yoonji Han moved quickly through the crystalline palace where the Purity Council's leader resided. Her stealth suit, designed to bend light around her body, made her nearly invisible. She reached the central communication hub and placed a small device on the main terminal. Seconds later, every screen on the planet displayed the same message. The Purity Council's actions against Earth have been exposed to the Confederation. Your leaders sacrificed your safety for their fear. Across Confederation space, Major Taijin Choi's Special Forces teams executed synchronized strikes on key military installations. Unlike the aliens' expectations of human warfare, these attacks were precise and controlled. No civilian targets, no mass destruction. Only strategic military objectives that would cripple the Purity Council's ability to wage war. Back on the Confederation capital, the diplomatic chamber had become a scene of accusation and denial. The 5 implicated species protested their innocence despite the damning evidence. Mina stood calm amid the storm. Earth does not seek vengeance or domination, she announced. Our military actions target only those installations directly involved in planning aggression against us. We demand justice for President Kim and guarantees that no further action will be taken against Earth. On her comm unit, reports flowed in from across the stars. The first phase of the coordinated attack had succeeded beyond expectations. Human forces had achieved surprise at every target. In the Meridian system, the last and most powerful of the Purity Council members prepared their legendary defense fleet, warships that had not faced defeat in 7 centuries. Commander Hyunwoo Park led the attack personally, his flagship EDF Vengeance at the head of 15 Earth vessels. The Meridian ships formed perfect geometric patterns, executing battle maneuvers unchanged for generations. "They're fighting the last war," Hyunwoo observed as human ships moved in seemingly chaotic patterns that actually followed complex algorithms designed to confuse predictive targeting systems. "Sir, their main weapons are charging," reported Tactical Officer Sungmin Choi. "Execute Operation Sunburst," Hyunwoo ordered. Immediately, Earth ships released clouds of microscopic reflective particles that scattered the Meridian energy weapons. Then the human vessels closed to short range, a tactic considered suicidal by conventional Confederation military doctrine. But humans had never accepted conventional wisdom without question. The projection changed to show a detailed strategy document. Phase 1. Remove Earth's leadership. Phase 2. Provoke human military response. Phase 3. Use response as justification for restrictions on human expansion. Phase 4. Gradually. Reduce Earth's influence until humans are contained. "They're playing us," Mina realized. "They want us to attack the Dolben in anger. And we almost fell for it," Hyunwoo admitted. The door opened again, and Acting President Suman Park entered. Despite the late hour, she looked alert and focused. "Madam President," they said in unison, standing at attention. "At ease," she said. "I've reviewed the intelligence. We need to act, but not in the way they expect." Suman activated the room's secure display, showing a new operation file labeled Long Memory. "This is our response," she explained. "Instead of an immediate counterattack, we gather intelligence. We build our strength. We find allies within the Confederation. And when we have everything in place, then we move." "They'll think we're weak," Ji-young pointed out. "Good," Suman said with a thin smile. "Let them underestimate us. It's what humans do best, surprise those who think they have us figured out." The next day, Agent Yoon Han, Earth's most skilled infiltration specialist, received her new assignment. She would be placed as a cultural attaché on the Sylvari homeworld, positioned to gather intelligence on the Purity Council's operations. Before leaving Earth, she met with Hyunwoo at a quiet lakeside park. "The mission parameters are clear," he told her, watching birds skim across the water. "Gather information only, no direct action." Yoonji nodded. "And if I discover they're accelerating their plans against Earth?" Hyunwoo handed her a small communication device. "This connects directly to me, bypassing standard channels. Use it only in extreme circumstances." On the Confederation capital world, Mina Lee was officially appointed as Earth's interim representative, replacing the fallen president, Kim. Her first address to the Galactic Assembly was measured and conciliatory. "Earth seeks only peace and justice," she declared to the gathered alien representatives. "We will work within Confederation law to investigate this tragedy." In the audience, representatives of the 5 Purity Council species exchanged subtle gestures of satisfaction. The humans were reacting exactly as predicted, seeking diplomatic solutions, showing restraint. What they couldn't see was the determination in Mina's eyes, or the secret communications flowing between Earth's leaders as Operation Long Memory took shape. That night, in a secure meeting room, Hyunwoo addressed the commanders of Earth's growing space fleet. "They think they understand humans," he said, his voice quiet but intense. "They've studied our history, our literature, our behavior, but they've missed something essential about us." He brought up an image of Earth, beautiful and blue against the darkness of space. "We have long memories," he continued, "and we protect our own. Prepare your crews. Train them harder than ever before. The time will come when we need to move quickly." As the commanders filed out, Ji-young approached Hyunwoo. "Sir," she said, "the Sylvari ambassador has requested a private meeting with you tomorrow." Hyunwoo raised an eyebrow. "Interesting timing. Let's hear what one of our supposed allies has to say." The conspiracy had been unveiled. Now the real work would begin. The shipyard orbiting Mars buzzed with activity as workers in spacesuits moved across the skeleton of the massive warship. 6 months had passed since President Kim's assassination, and Earth had transformed. What once had been science research stations now produced weapons and ships. Commander Hyunwoo Park watched through the viewport of his shuttle as it approached. The nearly complete vessel. EDF Vengeance, said Admiral Min-ho Kang beside him. Our new flagship, twice the size of anything we had before. Hyunwoo nodded. And the special modifications? Complete. The shield technology we reverse-engineered from captured Dolben designs works perfectly, but we've added something unique. The shuttle docked, with the station, and the two men made their way to a secure laboratory. Inside, Chief Engineer Subin Lee waited beside a strange device. This, Subin said proudly, is what will give us the edge. We call it the Adaptive Response System. The device pulsed with a soft blue light. Subin continued. Most alien weapons are calibrated to specific energy frequencies. This system reads incoming attacks and instantly adjusts our shields to counter them. Something no other species has? Asked Hyunwoo. No other species needed it, Subin explained. Their wars were always against known enemies with familiar technology. Humans had to design for the unknown. On the Silvari homeworld, Agent Yoonji Han sat in a quiet garden outside the grand diplomatic reception. Dressed in formal Earth diplomatic attire, she played her role perfectly, the earnest human cultural attaché eager to learn. Nearby, 3 Silvari diplomats spoke quietly, unaware that the translation device in Yoonji's ear was far more sensitive than standard models. The humans continue to grieve, one Silvari said. Their military production appears unchanged. Good, replied another, his leafy skin rustling. The council meets in 3 days. The containment plan proceeds to the next phase. Yoonji sipped her drink calmly, though her heart raced. That night she sent an encrypted message to Earth. Council meeting confirmed. Location, Meridian Station, Outer Ring. Date, 3 days. Back on Earth in the underground facility beneath Mount Baekdu, Professor Jinwoo Yoon worked with his team of scientists. The room was filled with alien technology, captured weapons, communication devices, and shield generators. Their technology isn't more advanced than ours, Jinwoo told the visiting acting president Suman Park. It's just different. They've traveled their technological paths for thousands of years, refining the same approaches. He activated a holographic display showing the internal workings of a Vex energy weapon. They never needed to innovate quickly. We did. That's our advantage. Suman studied the display. Can we exploit their technological stagnation? We already are, Jinwoo smiled, leading her to another section where testing drones fired weapons at different shield configurations. We've created hybrid systems they won't expect. Part human innovation, part adapted alien tech. In orbit around Jupiter, the training of Earth's fleet continued. Combat exercises ran day and night as ships practiced new maneuvers developed specifically to counter alien tactics. Captain Minji Choi of the EDF Defiant pushed her crew hard. Again, she ordered after a simulated battle against Archean-style tactics. Our response time needs to be faster. Her tactical officer, Lieutenant Do-hyun Kim, wiped sweat from his forehead. The Archeans have used the same attack patterns for 3 centuries. They won't expect our countermeasures. That's counting on them being predictable, Minji replied. Always prepare for the unexpected. At Lunar Base Alpha, Intelligence Officer Ji-young Shin coordinated information from agents throughout the Confederation. Data flowed in constantly. Ship movements, diplomatic communications, resource allocations. We've identified key targets, she reported to Hyunwoo during their weekly briefing. Military installations, communication hubs, shield generators. I'll write part 1. The assassination in approximately 900 words using simple English with Korean names, in third-person style, without headings. The bright lights of the Galactic Confederation's Grand Assembly Hall made President Jun-ho Kim squint as he approached the podium. Earth had joined the interstellar community only 3 years ago, and already their representatives stood before the gathered delegates of over 200 alien civilizations. Junho adjusted his formal blue uniform, the weight of 7 billion humans resting on his shoulders. Honored representatives, he began, his voice carrying through the vast chamber. Earth thanks you for this opportunity to address concerns about resource allocation in the Orion sector. From her position near the back entrance, Security Chief Mina Lee scanned the room. Something felt wrong. The Archean delegates were shifting, in their seats more than usual. The Dolben representative had missed the pre-meeting. Small things, but in her 15 years of protection detail, small things often preceded big problems. Earth believes that all developing worlds deserve fair access to asteroid mining rights, President Kim continued. The current system favors established powers, and a flash of purple light erupted from the upper balcony. President Kim staggered backward, a smoking hole in his chest. The energy beam had struck with perfect precision. Mina shouted into her comm unit. Code Black, President down. She sprinted toward the podium, weapon drawn as chaos erupted throughout the hall. Alien delegates scattered, some fleeing in panic, others standing frozen in shock. The security team surrounded the fallen president. Medical officer Taejin Choi pressed emergency patches to the wound, but Mina could see from the stillness in Junho's eyes that it was too late. The first human to represent Earth on the galactic stage was dead. Secure all exits, Mina ordered. Find the shooter. Above them, the Assembly's massive view screens broadcast the assassination to every corner of the Confederation. On Earth, billions watched in horror as their leader fell. In orbit above the Confederation capital planet, Commander Hyunwoo Park received the news on the bridge of the EDF Valiant, Earth's flagship. Sir? His communications officer said, face pale. President Kim has been assassinated. Hyunwoo gripped the arms of his command chair. Get me Earth Command. Now. Across the room, Intelligence Officer Ji-young Shin was already analyzing incoming data. Commander, preliminary scans indicate the weapon signature matches Dolben military technology. The Dolben Empire had opposed Earth's membership from the beginning, claiming humans were too unpredictable, too emotional to join the galactic community. Sir, Ji-young continued, the Dolben ambassador left the chamber 20 minutes before the attack. Their diplomatic vessel is preparing to jump to light speed. Prevent that jump, ordered Hyunwoo. Use disruptor fields if necessary. Back in the assembly hall, Mina led a team through the upper corridors, following the shooter's escape route. They found a discarded energy rifle behind a maintenance panel, its design unmistakably Dolben in origin. Too convenient, Mina muttered. In her experience, assassins rarely left such obvious evidence. She scanned the weapon with her handheld analyzer. Chief Lee, came a voice over her comm. We've detained a Dolben technician trying to leave through the service tunnels. Minutes later, Mina stood before the captured alien. The Dolben's 4 eyes blinked nervously, its scaled skin flushed dark green with stress. I was following orders, the Dolben said. The weapon was provided to me. I was told Earth must be stopped before they gain more influence. Who gave these orders? Mina demanded. I only know my contact, a silvery diplomat named Orcs. Mina's blood ran cold. The Silvari were supposed to be Earth's strongest allies in the Confederation. On Earth, the acting president Suman Park addressed a stunned planet. Her face, lined with grief but resolute, filled view screens worldwide. Today we have suffered an unforgivable attack, she said. But we will not respond with blind rage. We will seek justice through proper channels. What the public broadcast didn't show was the emergency meeting happening simultaneously in the underground war room beneath New Seoul. The evidence points to the Dolben Empire, General Jiho Kang reported to the assembled military leadership. But our intelligence suggests this may be more complex. Analyst Yunju Han stepped forward. We've detected unusual communication patterns between 5 major species in the weeks before the assassination. The Dolben, Silvari, Archeans, Vex Collective, and Meridian Union, all exchanging encrypted messages at unprecedented rates. You're suggesting a conspiracy? asked Admiral Do Hyun-yoon. I'm suggesting we need more information before we act, Yoonju replied. This feels orchestrated to provoke us into a hasty response. Back on the Confederation capital, Mina secured the crime scene as forensic specialists worked. Her personal comm unit buzzed with a private message from an unknown source. The shooter was a puppet. Look beyond the obvious. 5 heads, 1 body. They fear what humans might become. Mina quickly traced the message. It had been sent by Taejin Choi, the medical officer who had tried to save President Kim. When she found him in a quiet corridor, his expression was grim. I'm not just a medical officer, Chief Lee. I work for a branch of intelligence even you don't have clearance to know about. President Kim discovered something before his death. Evidence of a shadow coalition calling themselves the Purity Council. What do they want? Mina asked. To remove humanity from the galactic stage before we become too influential. The assassination is just the beginning. As Commander Hyunwoo Park stood on the bridge of the Valiant, watching Earth's first diplomatic funeral in space, he received a heavily encrypted message from Acting President Suman. The message contained just 5 words. Patience, prepare, remember the stars. Operation Long Memory had begun. The sun set over the rebuilt United Nations headquarters in New Seoul, casting long shadows across the memorial garden where President Jun-ho Kim's statue stood. 2 weeks had passed since the assassination. Commander. Hyunwoo Park walked slowly through the garden, pausing to look at the fresh flowers surrounding the memorial. His secure comm unit vibrated. Commander, this is Intelligence Officer Ji Young-shin. I found something you need to see immediately. 30 minutes later, Hyunwoo entered a small, windowless room deep within Earth Defense Force headquarters. The walls were lined with displays showing data streams, communication intercepts, and star maps. Sir, we've been analyzing communication patterns between major alien powers, Ji-young explained, pulling up a holographic display. These 5 species, Dolben, Silvari, Archeans, Vex Collective, and Meridian Union, have been exchanging encrypted messages at an unusual rate. Could be normal diplomatic channels, Hyunwoo suggested. That's what I thought too until we cracked one of the encryption keys. Ji-young swiped the display, revealing a partial message. They call themselves the Purity Council. And they're afraid of us, sir. Hyunwoo leaned closer. Afraid? We're the newest, least advanced members of the Confederation. Not technologically afraid, Ji-young said. They fear our potential. Our emotions, our unpredictability. She highlighted a phrase in the message. Humans represent an evolutionary wildcard that cannot be controlled. At that moment, Security Chief Mina Lee entered, accompanied by Medical Officer Taejin Choi. We found something too, Mina said grimly. Taejin, show him. Taejin placed a small device on the table. I retrieved this from President Kim's personal effects. It's a data core he kept with him at all times. He activated an emergency protocol, minutes before his death, sending me a decryption key. The data core projected a series of documents, meeting minutes, secret agreements, surveillance reports, all focused on Earth. The Purity Council has been watching us since first contact, Taejin explained. They've been studying our history, our conflicts, our rapid technological advancement. They believe we're dangerous. Why? Asked Hyunwoo. Because in just 300 years we went from horse-drawn carriages to interstellar travel, Mina said. No other species has adapted that quickly. And our emotions, our anger, our love, our determination, they're stronger than most galactic species experience. Ji-young pointed to another document. Look at this. They've been running simulations. In most scenarios, humans become a dominant force in the Confederation within just 2 centuries. So they killed our president to stop us? Hyunwoo asked, anger rising in his voice. It's worse than that, Taejun said quietly. The assassination was just the first step. This is their full plan.